G'day everyone, Turbo Tristan here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go over all of the costs involved, just like the last video, and show you what it takes and how much it costs to build an EK Civic hatch street car. The OG subscribers will remember that I built this car when I first moved into the factory. It is a late 90s Civic EK1 facelift with a D16 Y4 engine in it, non-VTEC single overhead cam. We transformed this whole car in a matter of months and did every single bolt-on mod absolutely possible without going a turbo on a D series. This included full brake overhaul, disc brakes all around, bigger upgrade, sway bars, tacho, cluster. We did paint job, we did body kit, we did rims, we did coilovers, we did exhaust, intake, plenum. In this build, we did everything absolutely possible to a D16 Y4, and then we took it to the track raced it, and swapped it for a pretty awesome car. Stick around, I'll go through all those mods and what they cost in just a moment. Thanks again for tuning in, and due to the popularity of the last video, I thought I'd do one on a couple more of the builds. This one is the Silver EK, or the Fluoro EK. Here you can see all of the parts that came with the car and how stock standard the engine was, and the bodywork and the wheels and the interior when I first got the car. In the intro, you saw what the bodywork was like. Here we are talking about the brake upgrades. This is one reason why you should look at a sedan instead of a hatch. They have much bigger, better brakes. This one, we're actually upgrading to the Integra Type R calipers and Mini Cooper rotors, along with the sedan rear brakes. For the brake upgrade, that actually, the trailing arms and bushes and everything like that was around $700 to do the front and rear. You'll see it on the spreadsheet at the end. We used Max Peating rods, Mini Cooper S brake rotors, and Honda DC2 Integra Type R calipers. Here you can see the rear brakes fitted up, and I've used my patented fluorescent paint, which is yellow, not green. I don't know why you guys think it's green. We've kept the rear camber arms in the car, and we've gone with some slotted and dimpled rotors all the way around. Next up, we have a short shift kit. This one came from Max Peating Rods. It was actually a sponsored item. They gave it to me at no charge to test out, so that was a bonus. Now I put it in. I actually didn't like it. It was a bit floppy, a bit long, and even though it was adjustable, I just couldn't be bothered with it, and I actually preferred the factory shifter. Now, those of you that have an EK1 hatchback, you will probably be aware that you don't have any front or rear sway bars at all. I went to the wreckers, I got myself a sway bar and all of the associated brackets from a sedan, and went out and got some lower control arms from RoadSafe, because the EK1 lower control arms don't have the eyelet for the sway bar links. My good friend Voda Tang actually gave me this rear sway bar. This is off an EK4 Civic, and it bolted directly on. He had all the brackets. All I did was paint them, and I think they look amazing. Matches the whole theme of the car, and such an upgrade. It made the car handle amazingly, and it wasn't too stiff or too bumpy. You could daily drive the car, and it just handled and felt amazing. I can't recommend this mod enough. It is the best thing you can do handling wise, is upgrade your sway bars. If you already do have sway bars, do what I did, get some white line sway bars front and rear for your car. These are the lower control arms that have the little eyelet in there you need to replace. So the whole front clip of the car was replaced with new guards, new front bumper, and new lip. That was a total of $952 from eBay, Triple R Auto Parts. I've used them heaps of times. Great quality aftermarket, non-genuine bits. Here you'll see the 17-inch rims. We'll get back to those in a moment. And we've also got just some little finishing touches I've done. I've replaced all the bolts with stainless steel cap heads just for a nice finish off. Totally cleaned and detailed the engine bay. change the spark plugs, we did the oil, we did the filter. Here you will see the 2¼ inch press bent mild steel sports exhaust, straight through muffler, hot dog. The bit where all the magic happens is the high flow cat, and that is coupled to the extractors or the headers, whatever you want to call them, that we got off Facebook Marketplace for $185. This catback exhaust, including high flow cat, was $740, which is not a bad price when you consider they had to make the whole thing and supply all the mufflers and the cat. So can't go wrong with that. The high flow cat gave us a really great performance upgrade. Next up is the other first mod I recommend doing on your EK1 hatchback, and that is replacing the cluster out so you can run a tachometer or a rev gauge or rev counter or a tacho, whatever you want to call it. And the dash cluster, that was another Wreckers item. Got that from Imlax, 150 bucks, threw it straight in. Here you can see the Mini Cooper rotors fitted up and the Integra Type R front calipers and pads on there. This is an incredible brake upgrade. Absolutely love it. Again, the front and rear brake upgrade, which is a mix of wrecker parts as well as new parts as far as the rotors and pads go. That set me back $615 trade price. Plus we got some braided brake lines. They're $180. I recommend those are Safe brake lines. I've used them on all my builds. They're fantastic. $180 well spent. Next up is the Max Peating Rods coilovers. These are their latest iteration, Series 6. They sent me these out for free. I had the first set possibly in the world. I was about the third person on YouTube to fit them up though. They fitted up absolutely perfectly. They rode great, and as you'll see at the end of the video, they are perfect on the track as well. Had no issues, no leaks, nothing. They've really stepped up their game, and they look fantastic. Now over to the Mighty D. Everything's all fitted up now. We've got the fluorescent Mugen eBay rocker cover, which my friend Gary gave me for free. We've got the intake manifold and the intake K&N kit on there, as well as the extractors I found on Facebook Marketplace. We've got an alloy radiator, which is twice as thick as a factory one, with a thermo fan, silicon hoses all throughout. They were free from Max Peating Rods. The radiator though, that was $164 from eBay. The K&N air intake, now I paid $150 from Marketplace on that. It was used, gave it a little bit of a scuff up and a polish, and it came up like brand new. Sounded incredible. One of my favorite parts on the car actually is the air intake, and it's a proper air intake. It actually gets cold air from outside of the engine bay, so it's not sucking hot air directly from the same area as the headers are. Where the guy painted the car didn't really look that good. It did something to the paint, and when I put the new paint on top, it fried up and went all powdery. So we decided to wrap the roof and the bonnet. Instead of the regular carbon fiber or regular matte black or gloss black, I went with a carbon graphite, crushed carbon, I'm not sure what else you want to call it, finish, which is quite popular on the GR Yaris's. All of Lamborghini's performance models have this carbon composite graphite sort of finish, and it's nice and textured, and I think it gives a lot of 3D depth to the car. That was done by my friend Michael from Only Wraps. You can look him up on Instagram and Facebook. He does an amazing job. Because I helped, he did me a sweet deal to wrap the bonnet and the roof. Bit of marketing advertising. Here it is outside, looking mint. The 17 by 7.5 inch wheels, which I custom painted with a custom color with the fluoro center caps, look amazing. One thing that I could not resist on a Civic was underglow neons. They're making a comeback. These guys I got off eBay for the low price of 30 bucks, and I think they look absolutely awesome. I'll probably chuck a set on my car at some stage once I get a few other issues sorted on it. But yeah, looked awesome and couldn't be more stoked with that. I felt like I was 17 again. Alrighty, here is my world famous spreadsheet. As I said, I like to keep a spreadsheet of everything so I know how much these builds cost. This one, we had a lot of sponsored parts from Max Peating Rods, which was the strut tower brace, the short shifter, the intake plenum, the radiator hoses. We also got some brake rotors, and we got the coilovers from Max Peating Rods, so shout out to them. Thanks so much. Having said that, we still spent $8,936 on parts. Included in that was the 2300 world famous Shonky paint job that I should never have trusted the guy or paid for. That was definitely a too good to be true price. He quoted me bodywork paint with 2K clear on there, and he pretty much painted in 3 hours and spray painted over the top of sticky tape and didn't do any bodywork or priming. So lesson learned, don't skimp out. Underneath that, I've got $1,000 worth of paint, which I then went and painted the car myself. Turned out much better. If I had have combined that $2,300 with the $1,000 that I spent, for $3,300, I'm sure I could have gotten a pretty damn decent spray job if I had have just done the right thing and paid a professional. So if we take that out, we're down to around about $6,900 still, but we'll leave it in because that's how much it cost me. So $8,936 plus the price of the car, which was $2.5 grand. Manual, sitting out in a farm, no rust or anything like that. EK1, which was a pretty good price at the time. It was in pretty damn good condition, just needed a bit of a tidy up. So all up, the car cost $11,436, which I think you'll agree is a hell of a lot of money for a car like that, with a D16 in it. Over on the right, you'll see in red some negatives. I've minused out the cost of items that we sold off the car. So that was a lot of those parts that came in the boot, plus things we took off. So we got back $1,110 of that money, leaving us with a grand total of $10,336. It was a very nice car. It was great on the racetrack. I actually loved driving it. It braked well, handled well, looked great. Everything about it was nice and clean and mint after we did all those mods. I chucked the car up on Facebook Marketplace for I think around about $14,000 just to test the waters. Got a couple of offers here and there, and then a young bloke reached out to me and offered me a trade for his purple EK4 Civic hatch with a B16A VTEC in manual with a sunroof and all options. That was an offer I thought was too good to be true. So we traded him our silver car, which owed us $10,336, plus we gave him a $2,000 cash adjustment, so the vehicle owed us $12,336. Without doing too much to that car, just giving it a basic service, checking over a few things, a few gaskets and seals, I was reached out to by a subscriber, and he asked if he could buy the car. We went back and forward a little bit, and I think we settled on around about $15.5 grand for the EK4. We didn't get to enjoy it, we didn't get to modify it, no brainer, so we let him have it. He loves the car, it's gone to a great home. So all up, we turned a $2,500 car into a $15,500. I'll leave you guys now with a video of this car at the racetrack going around Sandown Raceway, and I think you'll agree. Handles great, sounds great, goes well, a lot of fun. Great entry-level car for anyone. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to spool up, bring the boost, and we'll see you in the next video in 2023. Cheers.